Hello everyone, welcome back to Enigma's Cold War server in DCS World, and welcome back to the Mig-19 Farmer. It's been a while since I've had a really good session with the Farmer. I've been struggling with it a little bit lately, I'm not really sure why, but I ended up breaking that spell with a really fun, really solid session here that I thought I'd just share with all of you. So I was just flying out solo on this one, so I'll be giving a Doc's Debrief voice overview here. One thing you may be able to see just there is I had a little bit of a lag spike, and this was just going on throughout this session. I think the server might have been struggling a bit. This is about the week leading up to when the entire server box died, so that might be what's going on. Not had issues with this before or since, it just seemed to happen particularly strongly on this session. So either way, this is my first little engagement. I dive in towards this Viggen. There is a splash in the air there as one Mig-21 shoots down another Mig-21, which is all a bit embarrassing. The Viggen thinks he's safe and begins to pull away, and that gives me a nice opportunity, while they're all just talking in chat, to get the first kill of the day. Decide just to go with missile, make it nice and safe, and then splash that guy. So nice, quick, easy start to the session, feeling pretty good about this. Then just climb back up to some altitude, because there are a couple of A4s here, and I catch a glimpse of them against the water down below. And at this point I'm picking which one. The one I'm looking at right now is in a better position for me to attack. The downside is going after him is going to expose me to the other guy. Still, I decide this guy's in a good position. I'll dive in on him, deal with the other guy as and when it comes up. So I'm diving in, I've got good visual on him. Still have one stick and have my full complement of cannon rounds. He does keep the turn up, so I do struggle a little bit here. I snap at a chance there, but nowhere near enough lead. Starting to get into some compression. I decide just to take a breath, climb, recover my position, roll back around. And now I'm in a much better offensive posture. Right on his 6, he is heading away, doesn't seem to be reacting. Get a nice missile tone there, and so whip one off, and immediately start looking for this other guy, because the two of them were flying close together, so I am suspecting that they are on comms, and the other wingman will not be happy. Do see him down below. Nice thing about the 19 is you can get back up to altitude really quickly. And so you can stay safe a lot of the time. See there, he's jettisoned his ordnance, so he knows the fight is on. He's now taking it seriously. Good news is that if he's jettisoning ordnance, it means that he didn't take a full load of missiles, so he might be a bit more conservative. Might just have been the tank, I didn't get a good enough view. Either way here, I'm still in a very good position, directly above him, plenty of energy. He is very defensive at this point. Now what I don't realise is I do have a friendly coming in to assist here. So I go and try and dive in for guns. He sees me, tightens up the turn. I decide to play it safe, go for the high yo here. Keeping my energy, keeping in a safe position rather than trying to commit. The nearest other enemy is 40 kilometers away. See him flaring, which confuses me for a moment, but he had seen a missile launched at him. Mig-21 comes in there and gets the kill, and so fair enough, that's that group finished off. Now a little bit more threateningly here, I end up in a neutral merge with an F5 here. We're both at altitude. You can see there again the game lagging a little bit. It was just doing this throughout the session, just occasionally just freezing up for a second. Wasn't anything too bad. We'll see a couple of times where it does impact a fight, but never irreversibly. So I did lose track of that guy as he passed underneath me, end up getting eyes on something, realise the things that I had eyes on is a Mig-21, can really tell with the white afterburner, and then a little bit ahead of the Mig-21, this is the F5 there. He's now tightening his turn. Missile is launched on him here, but he does manage to pull away there. Here I end up in a little bit of an awkward situation that he passes directly under this cloud, so I completely lose eyes on him. I'm just hoping that he continued his right-hand bank here, so just kind of guess that he would have continued looking for where I think he should be. Dropping my nose here, trying to dive back under the cloud. Realise that this is putting me at a wee bit of danger. But if I remain above the cloud, I'm not going to get back into the fight. Just get the EWR picture there. So find his rough location, and sure enough, you can see him just whizzing along just under the cloud up ahead. So now we're still in a pretty neutral situation here as we come into the merge. I pull my nose up and spray in advance. We can see that I managed to get a good, very high aspect hit there. He definitely isn't dead, he's still manoeuvring, but something hit him. And these are these 30mm rounds on the Farmer, they do hurt. You can see there, it freezes again, but I quickly pick him back up against the white clouds. And so nothing really lost with that little stumble there. I do realise that he is damaged, but he is clearly still combat capable, he is still manoeuvring, but I now have a much better position. As I come in here, you can see that his left horizontal stabiliser is missing, so that must be what I clipped off. Means he's not going to have the kind of pitch authority that he would normally have, which puts him even more at a disadvantage. And here I'm just trying to take my time, trying to relax. For some reason I very much struggle with getting guns on with these low aspect shots. I probably should at this point switch over to the radar gun sight. That would probably make this trivial to get this shot off. Instead I decided to try and use this, if nothing else, a bit more practice leading my shots. Just as I was about to clip one off there, he does roll over. Give him a couple of bursts, just trying to get a feel for the guns again. It's been a long while since I've been particularly confident with the guns, on the Farmer in particular. I'm not sure if he was flaring to call for an ally to come in and help, or if he was worried about me getting a missile solution. I don't have missiles, but he might not have realised that. Now here I do end up overextending myself. I pull ahead of him. He has really put on the brakes. He's slowed right down. I put myself in a very dangerous situation there. But do manage to recover, get it back, sit on his tail again. And here, with a single shot there, do finally manage to get a decent hit into him. Those are the hits that I am really trying to get better at. Really happy I managed to get this one. It did get a temporary engine fire, but it does very quickly go out. But he's clearly hurting at this point. I've done a lot of damage to him. Still, he is trucking on. I should again be getting these hits. Once again, I end up overshooting. Whiz back through. He gets his nose on me there. Thankfully doesn't pull the trigger. And so I live to fight another day. See, he though is in really bad energy state here, and the problem with the damaged engine and playing energy games is that it's very, very hard for him to recover. At this point I am guessing that he has one engine completely out. That was just me checking my ammo. And then as I try and find him again, I see he's gone into the ground. He eventually went in from all of the damage. At that point I decide to RTB, come back in. Had taken a little bit of damage at some point apparently, and so my gear don't deploy, which is a bit embarrassing, but nothing that a repair can't fix. I'm back out after a short break, hunting around the front line again, where I've seen friendly bases taking fire, and here I get eyes on an A4 that has been attacking them. Try and pull in on him here. I'm not really in an ideal situation. It took me a long time to get eyes on this guy. So just trying to do my best here to stay safe beyond anything else, trying to keep the height advantage, keep the energy advantage so he isn't a threat to me, and just waiting for my opportunity to come in and commit. See, he is getting his nose around to me, but I am too high for him to effectively engage. And as he keeps trying to raise his nose here, I'm able to drop in on him. I've got a good, decent angle here, but I'm not in a great energy state myself. I can't quite get my nose around, so just decide to ease off the turn. No point bleeding off huge amounts of energy to try and rush the kill here. There are friendlies in the area. There's only one other enemy very close nearby, and so happy to take my time. I'm just trying to keep an eye on him. Bit of a neutral fight at this point. I'm not really committing too hard. And if nothing else, what I'm doing during this is stopping him carry out any ground attacks, if he still has any ordnance. There we can see another plane has entered the area. It's a Mirage that's coming in on his tail. So I think, okay, well, what I can do is just keep this A4 busy. If I drag him a little bit, keep him in this climbing spiral, that should make things nice and easy for this Mirage to finish him off. So I just keep high, not turning too tightly, just wanting the A4's attention on me. Hoping that he's hasn't seen the Mirage. I'm just waiting for my Mirage friend here to get the kill or commit. Again, little lag spike. Here I just decide that my positioning is pretty good, so I decide to commit and dive in. Heading in on this guy, got good position here. Try and whip off shots, don't quite get my lead right there. Little bit delayed on my shot. Mirage also comes in and does pretty much the same thing. At this point I decide, right, I have committed enough, so let's keep in this. Keep nose down, try and get the solution, trying to pull enough lead here. Fire some shots, get a bit confused, and then realise the Mirage managed to whip off a missile there. And so A4 goes down in the end. Took us quite a while to get him, so good defensive flying in the A4, but we got him in the end there. I do check my ammo state. Ammo state is still good. There was a F5 on the EWR. I'm just waiting for it to come back. It says third of a kilometre away, so start to worry. See this Mig-21 climbing, so I think, well, he's got to be going for this F5. See a bullet whiz overhead, and the F5 is right on my tail. So quickly unload the nose, do a quick roll, and thankfully that Mirage comes back in and saves the day for me, taking out that F5 while he's glued to me. Now, I claim a little bit more, mostly for a personal reason, that I called in an AWACS, and this very, very rude Viggen has just shot down the AWACS that I called in. So I decide that he can't get away with that. I have to try and take him down. Luckily, he seems very much in a mindset of just trying to get out of here. He's flying nice, straight and level. He isn't in afterburner, so I do manage to catch up with him. Just trying to line myself up, getting a nice missile tone, send off the missile, and splash. Probably could have just used guns on him, but I just wanted to play it safe and wanted to get revenge for my poor AWACS. A little bit later, same sortie, I end up encountering a 2-ship of Viggens, and after a bit of hunting I do see one of them here. You can see on EWR that they have managed to break up their formation a little bit. They were very close in formation, but we've been hunting each other for a few minutes at this point before we got eyes on each other, and during that time they've separated. So he comes up, he's going head-on with me here. I reject the head-on, there's really no point. A Viggen with gun pods can absolutely ruin the day of anything it goes head-on with. And there's no need for me to do that. I know I can win in turn fight. If he's doing really slow as he seems to be here, then he doesn't really seem to have an option to extend, so there's no need to take the head on. So for once I was actually able to be sensible instead of trying to snatch at the chance of getting a kill nice and quick. The other Viggen is very close in the area, but I don't have eyes on him, mostly focusing on this guy. Nicely enough, the bright red paint scheme makes it easy to ID him, and also makes him a little bit easier to spot against the ground. It's not really a huge advantage. Can probably just see that on the replay, do briefly see on the replay at least the second Viggen. The second Viggen is definitely struggling to find us here. And really feeling quite confident, really in control of this fight. A Viggen really isn't good at turn fighting. Mig-19 excellent at turn fighting. This Viggen is at least in an equal energy state with me. He's in full burner, but even then it's going to be a struggle for him. And we can see I've still got the speed advantage here. So I whip off a few shots. I was initially thinking of going for a missile, but decided I was too close, so flip onto guns. Get a good decent hit there. Chunk of his wing is off, the rest of the wing is on fire. I still don't count him out though, don't count an enemy as down until you see the shoot. And there, thankfully, he does go and release the shoot. Now I know that I'm not safe, but on EWR that does at least tell me the other Viggen is now 12 kilometers away, but is turning back in. So try and get my bearings, try and get eyes on this guy, assuming that he's going to come in and try and avenge his wingman here. Just hunting around, trying to spot, occasionally checking my 6 just in case. Kind of learnt my lesson from the F5 before. Even when you think you're safe, you might not be. And then do you catch sight of this Viggen? Fortunately for me, this Viggen doesn't seem particularly aware. He's clearly heading to where I was, but he doesn't take any kind of evasive action here. I don't think he knows that I'm here at all. Which means that I can just come around, slot onto his 6. He does start to turn. I don't know if that was the EWR call out or if he spotted me. Slightly worried at this point that he might just try and extend. Feeling a little bit far away from a missile, but I am rapidly closing with him here. He then straightens out, makes himself a perfect missile target here. And so as soon as I get tone, let one off, nice and easy. Get a hit, initially he doesn't go down, so just keep an eye on him just to make sure. And indeed, as he goes down, he goes straight into the ground. And so then with a fair bit of ammo and my sticks gun, I RTB again. Bit of a rough landing, but make it down on my wheels this time, so I don't need another repair. And once again rearm and get back into the sky. Feeling pretty good about that. That is 3 kills on both of the previous sorties. That brings me up to a total of 6, so that is my ace in a life here. And just continue just to see how well I can do. And so here once again there's an A4 down below. I'm more than happy to engage, hunt the A4s. They do a huge amount of damage to frontline targets, and so they are high priorities for me. End up on his 6, fire off a missile. That one ended up nice, quick kill to begin that particular sortie. Then gain some altitude, this time heading in towards an F5. Here, interestingly, kill feed F5 has just killed an A4. I don't know if this is the same F5, but either way I am considering him to be more of a threat. You can see him, I'm just trying to keep my height, keep my energy, roll over here, let him pass underneath me. Go for an inverted turn, just making sure my pilot doesn't black out at this point. Probably misjudged that, I'm now kind of neutral compared to him. And he ends up on my 6. So I definitely mistimed that rolling dive, wasted my position advantage, wasted my height advantage, but do reclaim it here. Again, the 19 is really good at climbing out of a fight. The F5 is not. I by far have the thrust to weight advantage here, so I know that I can climb if I need to. So really nice thing about the 19 is just generally feeling safe on the 60s rotation, that you're only in danger when you put yourself in danger. If you want to get out, you can very easily get out just by climbing or by turning against things that can climb better than you. There's always an option there. Either way, since he begins to struggle, I do end up back on his 6. He is flaring quite heavily. Do check there is no other enemies in the area, but do see there is a friendly in the area. Try and get guns on, misjudge it, but feeling that I've got very good positioning here. So bring myself back around, end up perfectly positioned, whip off another missile, and there he goes down. Bringing the total to 8, feeling nice and happy. I was heading back to base to try and pick up some more sticks when got an alert that there is an A4 very close in the area that was making a run on targets very near to Krasnodar. Managed to pick him up here, trying to close on him as quick as I can, because there are a number of planes taking off and landing in this area. You can see there, SAM site just went up and got somebody. Fortunately, this A4 comes onto the back of this Mirage. Now, I do at this point give an SRS call out to the Mirage, let them know that to check his 6. Let them know at this point to flare. Fortunately, he either doesn't hear me or isn't on SRS. And so he goes down. But I do manage to whip off a couple of cannon rounds just as I'm passing and do at least avenge him, even if I couldn't stop that there. So that brings the total to 9, and feeling really good about that. I just kept on going at this point. Probably should have got missiles, but again, a lot of enemies in the area. Decide to continue to commit. and here come up against a Sabre. And this is the really scary adversary for the 19. 19 I feel really comfortable with engaging pretty much anything, but the Sabre does scare me. It can outturn me. It does have missiles just like I do. And in the hands of a capable pilot, it is an incredibly dangerous adversary that I don't know exactly the best approach to take with it. Try and do some boom and zoom tactics when possible, but very often Sabre pilots will just keep an eye on you and just turn hard as you approach. You can see here I have well and truly messed up that particular attack. I've absolutely overshot here. He does fire a missile. 19 doesn't have countermeasures, so nothing I can do but turn. Thankfully we're up against AIM-9Bs, and so you can just outturn them. But he is very much on my tail here. I'm trying to spiral climb here. I know I've got the thrust advantage, and so if we continually spiral climb, he will run out of energy much sooner than I do. Do lose track of him here, which is not the best situation to be in. Do see another missile trail, assuming that he launched on me again. That time I missed mostly out of pure dumb luck rather than anything else. And here can see that he's below me, decide that, well, I can have another go here. If I was being really sensible, I probably should have disengaged at this point. But I'm in a good position, diving in here. See him on my nose, he is nice. I've regained the position advantage. I know that I'm going to overshoot, but still try and pull into the target. Do let off some rounds and unfortunately miss, and again don't quite have the right angle there. And what I don't realise is there's an A4 coming up behind me, and so I get taken out. Another lag spike as I go down, but it's all fun. So really happy with that session. As I said, 9 kills without dying is really good. New record for the 19 for me. And it was a hell of a lot of fun. Do enjoy coming back to the 19. It is a nice comfort aircraft. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope to catch you in a future video. Until then, remember to be kind to yourselves and everyone else. Cheers.